Now, forewarned weather with Ashlee Baracy.
And right on cue, it is going to be feeling like we're in the dog days of summer heading into the weekend. But we can't jump over the fact that our air quality is gradually improving. So the first morning that we have been waking up in a week where we don't have an air quality advisory. Now that doesn't mean the skies are crystal clear. We still have some moderate pollutants across the area, but overall that's a distinct improvement from the last 8 days. Air quality map. So you can see off to the west, we do have some thicker pollutants just west of Lake Michigan. So that includes the UP all the way down through Milwaukee into Chicago. And then we have some of that off towards Buffalo, New York. But for the lower peninsula, most of us are in that moderate range. Fire and smoke map, though, still showing that we have some of that Canadian wildfire smoke. In fact, that's draping the plains on the lighter side, but a little thicker throughout the Great Lakes and then all the way up towards Boston and even Maine. Here's a live look at Belleville right now where you see a little bit of that color now that we are right around that sunrise, and some of that is still a smoke layer giving you that filter, but we also have cloud cover too to go along with it. So it's a great start to the day. Smoke forecast, well, we see that improvement distinctly by tomorrow. It'll thin out as the day progresses and into tonight. By tomorrow morning, I do anticipate some clear conditions when it comes to the smoke, as our winds are going to be shifting out of the south, pushing any of that lingering smoke to our north. So by this afternoon, winds pick up. That blue that you see here indicates more of that 10 to 15 mile per hour range, so it gives it a little more boost. And the arrows now coming out of the southeast. But by tomorrow morning, we have more of that southerly shift, and that's going to be pushing all that smoke and retreating it to the north. But in the meantime, air quality alerts still drape portions of the region across the Great Lakes and off to our east, but we have peeled them back for the southern half of the lower peninsula. So temperature-wise, it's not too bad of a start, mild. I mean, mid to upper 60s, couple 70s right now would be Mount Clemens and Grosse Ile. We're just shy of 70 in Detroit, but slight isolated chance as we warm things up going into the afternoon. Most of us are staying dry, but just like yesterday where we saw one little shower kind of bubble up north of Oxford, well, here we go again where we have that little pocket, a little hiccup of a chance. But 85, partly cloudy and a little more muggy, but humidity continues to build in day by day, and it'll just be hot and humid going into the weekend. So rain chances. Here's an illustration of what I'm talking about. Just that little isolated hiccup for this afternoon. Tomorrow you might have a few more, still mainly dry forecast, but a couple of those scattered chances for your Thursday, and then we'll have a couple of them on Friday as well. Saturday, Sunday shaping up to be drier, just humid, and our better chance for showers and storms will arrive with a frontal system going into late Monday, early Tuesday. So that brings us a better chance for some storms. Quickly, we're watching the tropics, and there is Tropical Storm Dexter that's churning off into the Atlantic, but that's going in the opposite direction. We don't worry about that. Within the next 7 days, we're going to keep a close eye on what's happening here, as that could be heading towards the U.S. Otherwise, 90 Saturday, Sunday. With that humidity, we're feeling like mid-90s. So maybe make some plans to hit the pool this weekend.
Now, forewarned weather with Exact Track 4D.
I was going to say, I think Grey Ghost has won the award for best burger several times.
And for good reason.
Yeah.
They have a lot of good things on the menu, but that's definitely one of the better.
It's like always on my list. It's the one burger in Detroit, award-winning burger I haven't tried.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't tried
I haven't
it?
had it. Never had it. I swear, we've gone to the Grey Ghost restaurant a couple times, and it's either closed for a private party or the wait is too long. And we're like, we'll try it again next time.
So you come in there like, nope, no Jason today.
Nope. They're like, sorry.
Now at least they have another option for folks, because Grey Ghost is a small restaurant. I mean, you're trying to get in there.
That's why I've been waiting for that one.
Yeah. Good deal. Congrats to them. You could always do a taste test here, too.
We could.
Wouldn't that be nice and convenient?
Thoughts?
Burgers for breakfast. You like it?
Yeah. Well, hopefully you're not dodging raindrops this morning as you're out and about maybe grabbing breakfast, but we do have a couple little showers that bubbled up. So let's get to that. They're very isolated. In fact, one of them did have a few lightning strikes, and that was just north of Waterford, but otherwise just a little pocket or two, and they just bubbled up and they're starting to fizzle out. So no lightning on radar right now, but south of Metro Airport, along I-275 as that turns into I-75, getting into Monroe County. That's where we have a little bit of light rain right now. That pocket very much on the light side, but we do have a more moderate to heavy downpour by the Milwaukee Junction. And so for folks that are in Detroit, as you work your way west of Gratiot, that's where we have a couple of those more heavy showers, especially clipping John R. there. So just giving you some street level mapping in the city of where we've had that heavier shower bubble up, and one heavy shower right into the Lapeer area. Otherwise, maybe a sprinkle or two off by Ortonville and Oxford. And so we do have a couple raindrops that have accumulated on our camera lens here, but you can see the sun trying to peek out and it's hazy. And so that was a look at downtown Detroit from our rooftop camera, and that haze lingering over Metro Airport where we are drier. Like I said, that shower that developed just south of Metro Airport, but the haze will linger even though our air quality is slowly improving. So 70 degrees over at Metro, 67 in Pontiac, 70 in Grosse Ile, and 66 in Port Huron. But winds are beginning to shift. That helps us out. We still have a little bit of that northeasterly flow, so that's giving us some more of that wildfire smoke. But once we start to see that shift out of the southeast, that's when you get that more noticeable improvement. So moderate pollutants are still in the air, not enough for there to be that air quality alert. So first day, we finally lifted that over a week. But all of lower Michigan dealing with at least moderate pollutants, and that smoke layer draping the Great Lakes all the way up into the New England region. So here's how the smoke retreats. As we go throughout the next 24 hours, winds shift out of the south. That's going to push all of this to the north. And so still dealing with the haze in the UP come tomorrow. But as we hold on to that southerly flow of wind, we warm things up here. Hopefully our friends to the north will start to see that improvement day by day. So wind direction by this afternoon, it's that southeasterly flow. Winds are picking up in speed that you see there in blue, and so that's helping to pump some of that out of here. And by tomorrow morning, we have the southerly wind. Air quality alerts still in effect, though, for northern lower Michigan and the UP. But as we look at your forecast planner, an isolated slight pop-up chance again this afternoon like we're dealing with this morning. Otherwise partly cloudy with a high of 85. So muggy conditions begin to build in today. Stick with us through the weekend. All that green you see, that's humidity. We don't start to catch a break until the middle of next week. And so looking more so at the rain chances, there's that little isolated bubble up by 3-4 o'clock. But I think we have a better chance for maybe a little more scattered activity by the time we get to Thursday afternoon and evening. So still keeping that a kind of a slight chance for now, but the chance is still there. Better chance, though, for more widespread rain going into early next week. So late Monday throughout your day Tuesday, that's where we'll have some thunderstorm chances. In the meantime, though, this weekend, 90-degree highs. You pair that with that oppressive humidity, and it's going to feel like mid-90s. So try to stay cool this weekend as that sunshine makes a comeback.